Hey, this is David, Richter Scale Studios, doing a little update and getting ready for Star Wars Legion's release in the next week or so. Been 3D printing some terrain and actually just throwing spray paint on things. You never know if I'm going to get to painting it completely, but at least there's some kind of color on it, and the terrain is not all funky plastic 3D printed plastic colors. So we got the DF9 turrets from Empire Strikes Back originally. This is a really cool piece. This is really close to the bunker entrance on Endor in Return of the Jedi. This is from Game Terrain Engineer James on YouTube. I'll put a link to this video, and he has a link to the actual 3D printed STL files to make this. This is like multi-pieces. I had to actually tear it apart in a mesh thing because it was way too big to even fit on my CR10S. So it's 4 pieces. Then all the little details. I added the eagle, something I designed years ago as like an Imperial eagle for 40K. And I shrunk it down and put it on there. Thought it looked kind of cool. Oh well. And then this is, Imperial Terrain, the DF9 tower. This is their desert tower. Amazing, very big. And these are Imperial Terrain or Imperial Assault stormtroopers. So the new stormtroopers from Star Wars Legion are going to be probably, what, 20% bigger at least? But these are very substantial pieces of terrain. And if you follow my Instagram or my Facebook artist page, Richter Scale Studios, this is Imperial Terrain's mechanics garage, or I think mechanics bay and house. I added the sign Morty's. That's my own little touch. Everything on this board is from that group. All the cargo, these are all moving around. The grav truck, which is being elevated by some strategically placed pink foam. And this may be a diorama piece, but it'll be definitely a terrain piece. I'm going to put it all together, and this is just sealed MDF. It has some bark that's going to be rock outcroppings. This is all going to be blended in and textured like with sand. Probably a mixture of spackling and PVA and some acrylic caulking and some water. So it's going to be really cool. Then put some actual sand texture on it too. And this is all stuff I cut. Pink foam foundation. That's dollar store foam. Steps cut with a compass cutter. I have some kind of craft thing for foam board. And then move this out of the way. There is a concrete pad that's dollar store foam too for the mechanics bay. What else do we got here? Like I said, all the crates. Oh, this is a new one I just printed out. I'm going to show a picture of this too. This was orange PLA. The dish was 2 pieces. Let me get it out of here. And this is kind of like a portable comm station and like supplies. Really nice little piece. It'll be a great objective piece for Star Wars Legion. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to put a photo of that up too. I did that on the CR10 for the main body, and the CR10 didn't do great on the accessory pieces, so I did that on the Kruse Mark III. It turned out those, like, I don't know, what are those for, like comm pieces or maybe shields or something like that. And we're going back over here. Another piece by Imperial Terrain, cargo pallet. I like this. And the stuff I like about Imperial Terrain, this will go with any kind of wargaming genre. And this is another one, Imperial Terrain. If you go on their Facebook page, this was released for free. This is called a Hasty Barricade. So it's all kinds of boxes and cargo stuff and equipment just thrown together as a barricade. That's really, really cool. I mean, this is really neat. If you have a 3D printer, you are just set for Star Wars Legion. And a couple pieces that are free from Thingiverse that I really enjoy, and I really enjoy following the gentleman that makes this stuff. We've got a Markus Kruse, Terrain for Print. I've done some other pieces for him from Necromunda. I printed out like a construction robots. Those are really cool. And some computer consoles, which will really work good in Necromunda. They probably work good in this too for objective pieces. So this is his version of the Desert Tower. It's a little bit smaller than that. Actually, it's quite smaller, but it's a easier print. It's really cool looking. Let's get a trooper by there. And a good size. And it has a floor on top too. Let me see if I can pull it apart. And putting it back together is going to be another thing, but there is a floor glued in. I doubt, because there's some specific little nibs to fit this back together, and that's not going to happen. But you get the idea. And then, of course, like the Tatooine residence, like I said, all this is just hit with spray paint. This is what was black and gray, and then I hit it with some brown and some kind of khaki, probably from Krylon camouflage. Then just hit the front door with some gray just to give it some differential. So that is just a really cool piece. The only thing I had to do with this was inside, the windows were cut all the way through, so I took some plasticard and super glued them in, and I'll do some kind of detail work on that when and if I ever get to it. So that is it. Let me take a higher ground or view of all this. This piece, I did black and gray. I did notice the door didn't fit quite well. I might have to reprint it and change the dimensions on it, shrink it down so it fits in that frame. This was done black, gray, then hit it with a dark camouflage brown and then flat red. So it has a little mottled look to it. And even these, I was trying to make them look different. Some of the paint didn't come out all that great on, but like I said, these are just basically primed. So once they're sealed, they'll be sprayed or airbrushed and detailed out. That was black and gray, then some khaki, like I did on the desert building, and some white on top of that, just to highlight it and give it another kind of mottled look. Then I went over the barrel with some black and gray again. So that is it. So I'll put all the links to all this stuff in the comments, imperialterrain.com. Terrain for print, I'll put the actual link to the desert buildings. There's a ton that he put up for free. And I recommend just donate him a few bucks. Help him out because he puts out some really cool stuff. And then I will put the link to Game Train Engineering. That's James. And that was a really cool, this is a really cool piece actually. You see, he originally built this from scratch out of cardstock and a few other pieces. And I think he may have done a little bit of 3D printing. Then he designed the whole thing over again in Tinkercad and broke out the pieces. And that was very generous of him to share that with the community. And I look forward to painting that also. So once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and please comment if you have anything to say. And I will see you in the next video.